It's time for our basic first mark sheet of the match. Let's see how Ajit Agarkar marks players from Bangalore, Rajasthan, Chennai, and Delhi.
Basic First, specialized platform for JEE Main Advanced, NEET and 6 to 12.
Right, Ajit, let's start with the first game on Saturday. It was a thriller of a game. AB de Villiers, we've seen it before, but it doesn't get any less brilliant when we see it again and again. 55 not out of 22 and a superhuman effort. How would you mark AB out of 10? I'm feeling silly even asking you.
Well, yeah, tough question, really. I mean, I wish 10 wasn't the highest number. Look,
Yeah.
he's one of those guys which just keeps surprising you. Not actually surprise is the wrong word, keep astonishing you every time he plays. Bails the team out from difficult situations which only he can or special players can. And every time he comes to the IPL, he does these special things on a regular basis, which is such an asset for any team. So that game looked dead and buried if he wasn't batting. Tells you what a special player he is.
Yeah, what about his compatriot Chris Morris, who's ever since he's come into this RC team, he's had 4 for 26 today.
Yeah, the 10 again for Morris because I always felt at the start of the tournament, the quicker they get him fit, the better their balance will be in the team. You know, you can play an extra bowler, extra batsman because he has that firepower in the middle or lower middle order when needed, and his bowling when he's bowling well is one of the most difficult bowlers to score off, and is a wicket taker. So which he's proving at least early on in his sort of IPL comeback. If his form stays, RCB is going to be a big threat in this competition.
Yeah, what about Steve Smith then, Rajasthan captain, who managed his first decent knock, you think, after those first two games at Sharjah, 57 of 26 for Smith, and he came in at 4 today. What did you make of Smith's innings? How would you rate him out of 10?
Yeah, 6, I think. I think the innings was terrific. I think his decision to perhaps bowl or not cut in the 19th over. It's a nice thing for us to sit here and say that he was looking at the other way. Unatkat bowls a decent enough over, then Archer has a lot of runs to play with. You could look at it both ways, but clearly, I mean, that was a mistake tonight. Archer bowls that over, it gives Unatkat a lot more of a cushion. So he'd be happy with his own form, not with the 2 points lost.
All right, let's go to our next game now, Delhi Chennai. This one was a thriller of its own. And let's start with Shikhar Dhawan, who managed an unbeaten 100, although with a little help from the CSK fielders. How would you mark Dhawan's innings out of 10, Ajit?
Yeah, 10. I think he might have been dropped a few times, but it's not his fault. I think CSK fielders are at fault there, and he's made sure he's cashed in with a little bit of fortune that he's had. Just looks a different player in the last 3 or 4 innings or 2 or 3 innings that we've seen. He scored runs before, or he had starts before, but not quite at the clip that he's going. In spite of Delhi Capitals losing wickets and Pant not being in the team, it's been a huge positive for them. So really good innings, and when you get 101 in a chase of 180, it's got to be a special innings.
Yeah, one of those players that did let Dhawan off was Ambati Rayudu. Got a decent little innings of 45 not out of his own. How would you mark Rayudu overall today out of 10?
Overall, with probably a 7. I think that that catch has cost them not just 2 points, but it's really left them scrambling for a place to qualify in the playoffs. They've got to play really well in the remaining games. But look, catches get dropped. You just hope you don't drop one that has a big say in the game. Unfortunately, it did on the night. But his batting was really good. His innings, and of course Jadeja later on made sure that Chennai got to a score, but at one point looked very, very defendable. So you've got to give him credit. I think he's batted well this season. He's been injured for a few games, but he's batted when he's had the opportunity for Chennai.
And finally, Akshar Patel. He has a day to remember now. Decent effort with the ball, none for 23 of his 4 overs, and then a few lusty blows to make sure that Delhi didn't fall short in spite of Dhawan's heroics. How would you mark Akshar for his all-round performance out of 10, Ajit?
Yeah, Akshar comfortably 10. His bowling, has been good throughout the tournament. He's been as good as any bowler on show. Maybe doesn't have the wickets to show for it, but he's bowled some key overs for Delhi Capitals in the middle, kept pressure on the opposition by bowling economically. And today's innings, I mean, yes, it was a left-arm spinner bowling against him, not big boundaries, but that's a lot of pressure when you know the game's at stake. To then pull off those shots, it might be a little bit easier against left-arm spin. but you still have to be good enough, and which he's been all tournament.
All right. Thank you very much, Ajit Agarkar. That rounds up our basic first mark sheet of the match.
Basic First, specialized platform for JEE Main Advanced, NEET and 6 to 12.